Awuziafo Iran ayade bi ma ewiase nyina bebre na feel disappointed say ade na Iran esa na yede ani ato Iran so ene Russia ene China be anamo Iran atunu ebi mu say eye supreme leader a ye fe no Ayatollah ono woye coward adentia eba ewiase eye akode kodiawu ana nukes ana say nuclear weapons a eye Iran eje say entoko ni Israel kon no obey nukes na all my international bodies meka na IAEA for omuma ema me check say woye anase ma onyenti ohyemra ewo Iran say omuma obi em hoda na watwe assign na denti na Iran watwe assign na ama ne nkofo kra eye protest say one ti enema bi ase a unhu de eko asem a areho na asem nso a emobo denti na ewiase nyina ese na Iran wanye nukes anase akodie kodiewu ene na me no yeba abesua na before na me de wo bekọ Iran so no eba nukes ho no ma me ni kan fa nko Iraq na me do ko Iraq wi a na ma twon do aba eye Iran se de be ya wo beti ase pa eye Iraq ho na ese me kasa de afa Saddam Hussein na eba ne sen enokwasem ne se eye Iran Saddam Hussein 1970s ni mu no na o vision say opese of building nukes anase akudie kodiewu anase nuclear weapons me nuclear no I mean time mo yi ma na won tia say nuclear fache me nuclear na wade ache me na emra Saddam Hussein eye say opese oye nukes no na amanfo bebre US eye omo ya sa de na Saddam Hussein opese oye nukes Israel and a normal year strong opposition to Saddam Hussein ni vision na owo say obey nuke e dey abo eye Iraq for ehoban na Israel for also e greater Israel a very big agenda, very big vision, and the greater Israel know is that they are not going to allow any member or any Arab nation in the Middle East to build nukes. Na say omo ma ankramufo a omo Middle East building nuclear weapons. Adentia international bodies USA believe say nkofo ne building nukes a omo ye terrorist groups a omo betimi yesu dia koso havoc and mayhem or other countries. And Israel force a vision a omo force Iran US normal tias and say Israel for vision say Middle East where omo there and then some Middle East omo there na say Iraq e building nukes a one day omba be take over and a bit difficult the ama Israel say omba be sa ku na almost say promised land no e ka ho a omo de anom a long story ma ka ho kra some that I don't want to go back and na omo agenda ti atem bia no say almost the Arab nation be powerful a no ma suppression with wars almost Arab nation be ba so no ma suppression with weapons na ade na omo wiki sa oman no na 1980s nim yemfa 1981 na Saddam Hussein na obuild nukes or building nuclear facility bia ye friend no Osirak nuclear reactor Osirak nuclear reactor enti o say we build sa de no o no playing ground da say wasase ani na we na Israel fo hu sa pe anom say da bi omo so omo mpe Saddam Hussein asem omo tiom ba bi omo nka bi nhemu na Israel for omo operation omo say omo fe no operation Opera na omo this operation Opera we say e call Iraq na omo ko strike facility no with drones and missiles na omo this man omo say bibia 1981 it is that way ade bia affect Iraq ye pa hono no na international bodies ka say adena Israel etimi sa say oman wade na ofele say ade oman ne wo no so when nje ho a who Israel who need to me say o de missiles and say drones be strike no say facility no enunti ne wo UN bodies and say United Nations bodies are wo check say ne man nyina be make sure say on be find the right procedure na mo dia ende sa nuclear enrichment Saddam Hussein no na me no ka say akwawe Ayatollah wabaye supreme leader ono so vision enyina ne say haram for any Arab nation to build nukes ana akudie kodiewu eye ayatollah na o promote sa agenda ne pa say enu kwan say enkamuman everybody looks because enkamosum etia na ye Israel for there because say enkamosum etia there that ye be attack wa uni nukes a obetimi there a fight there tia because the moment Iran be body nukes no e be den e dey ama Israel and na amanfo say I always dispute that fact say I don't think or I don't even believe that Israel owns nukes. But there are speculations say Israel will nukes. So yeah, accept say Israel will nukes. Say Israel will nukes there. Internationally, we check here Israel can man now or nukes nibi. Israel nukes nibi. Ade na wo bi. Na on pese obi ebenya bi. Eti Ayatollah say onye saa de ne da. Say obe nukes no enya de be boa no. Na ewomu ma na Netanyahu de bia no aba bonti.
The two nations that are vying, competing with each other, who will be the first to achieve nuclear weapons, is Iraq and Iran.
Iraq, everybody knows. Iraq, everybody knows. Oh, no, about Iraq. Iraq is not far away from making nukes. Iraq, almost within the next 4 years. Oh, I know about within the next 6 months. Oh, I know about within the next 2 weeks or 2 months. Tebia Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, almost pressure Iraq say omo lose after say omo ko Bombay omo facility asema me no kan arehuye pa na edu ba bi no medical catch that say America omo political system democracy government no wo influence wo so pan IPAC edu friend APAC na wo timi lobby control politicians wo America ho na wo de to Saddam Hussein so say Okahun George Bush time Saddam Hussein nukes nukes womo kan na do ba bi no international bodies United Nations de betu ga say there be Saddam ye nukes na Saddam say momra na mo me check ba bi am ye nukes no nti omo call US United Nations Asia UN Security Council Asia say enya de Saddam ye nukes nti no countries be China Russia womo nyina everto ye na friend say USA ono there ojiri say Saddam nukes and United Nations say I might be able to say onye nukes in the end to me nko attack Saddam Hussein and any omu nyina say onko attack Saddam Hussein dia ye yankasa USA ono so wo in secret and as organization bi e friend NATO wo mu nyina agitum say any yenko attack Saddam Hussein ni yense ni nuclear facilities na in fact ade bia ewiase nyina opposite to that but ono no ye world superpower enti se ono se obey ade a untimi challenge ade a US aka ana mo so a NATO yi na omo de call na in fact the cure months ko year omo ne Saddam Hussein ekunto papa ye a na enye ade ketwa.
The invasion happens months later. No weapons of mass destruction are found in Iraq. This
and now pasa 2.something million. Just imagine 2.something million. Now say young fan they say oba kofodia kuma ye nu 2.something million. Oba sunyane a nu 2.something million. I'm sure. Okuomu nyina just to kill one person. Enti okunu wie no na mutual short no your story e be kan wasem later. Okunu wie no na afi omankasa e de betu ga say my mistake because no more almost suspect says Saddam build akudie nukes but invasion after the invasion or the attack of Iraq no they saw nothing debris of nuclear facilities bia say nka omuku Saddam Hussein so even though it was too late and no munim say no masada they had their own reason me say be kan wasem later na Ayatollah oye na dwen say saa ne nkofo we say tie na say uni nukes na say Israel etimi dada US no makabom no ma abe attack o it we ma Ayatollah o ka say haram say Arab nations ebe building nukes no na e say obusa amre no so wo hu ni say nukes no aye no ho entontom saa entontom no entontom aduro mosquito coil ana enemy enso ye entontom say also mosquito coil esi wo dem den say entontom beba wo so therefore so no Iran epeso ye strong there ohia mosquito coil e won dem which is nukes say the enemy nations like Israel and USA ntimi mba me attack me but the story we am no okay ade bi a very nice pa when you who follow me yesu ade etiemra Iran so yes obebude nukes no ho na USA Israel for kokate USA for say Iran so ebude nukes
by next spring, at most by next summer, at current enrichment rates, they will have finished the medium enrichment and move on to the final stage. From there, it's only a few months, possibly a few weeks.
Obama na wafu. And Obama say Iran muni right biya say mbabude nukes. Adenti oma reasons. Reasons ni na say propaganda reasons. Adenti ya obienu ho a owo nukes a anase o abude nuclear weapons a or the weapons no code anase launching of the weapons no be ma enemy bi anase ne terrorist group biya. But eba US and Israel omo frame ni say omo ma Iran ebody nukes a Iran Ayatollah support terrorist groups our Middle East na sa terrorist groups no Houthis ka ho bi ana Hezbollah any other terrorist groups etino enu kwan say Iran ebody sa nukes no obode a or the bema atamfo to say terrorist group normal launch they are say wiase e dey say witino one more say na Iran ambode Iran so say no obekoso no abode na waye enrichment na at the point bi a ebi mu kwase no nam 80% na enrichment no a certain kind of mineral resources that over piling up say uranium more now o piling up na air doors with the higher centrifuge no na ultimately benya explosive ade ebetimi ama we use as nukes and say nuclear weapons hono anom the sanctions to Iran so na sanctions a wo mo to Iran so no na ombeso mo che say Iran nukes dia ebekwa kodi Houthis any friend say Hezbollah for ensem it is sanction di air cargo Iran entimi import niam bi mfiri baabi nko baabi say Iran nim na what try say obe order niam air cargo ni namuyem a ombe shoot ni down. It was a very severe sanction. At the same time also scientists are omebude nukes no omusika biara womu wo ewo wiase international banks bibia no womu afrizi ana ebiemu nso no say Iran ka so obebude dia Iran banks no ombe say Iran banks to the point that womu man nation biara oman biara any Iran enye adwuma through transactions to say bia Ghana ha obetimi akosisa usika in dollars in euros in pounds now they are the open almost say Iran so bebude nukes dia ma Iran entimi and selling sika e wa ma so mfa sika enye trade na say the banking system no sika no nko na obedi e na ontimi so ntonema emfiri ba bia eno so another severe punishment afenso ma ko bia so ni any Iran entry EU nations Asia hwan omo bia ni Iran entry sanction we sanction bia na ano odempa afenu Iran officials wo ntimi ntukwan enko ba bia ntimi ntukwan enko ba bia sanction no na mo the idea is some dey cripple Iran. In fact affect Iran pa because oman a wo sika ntimi fa nya hwe na ukromfo ntimi ntukwan officials ntimi ntukwan na scientists council ya block na say enya dia oman ne betimi develop inflation betches omo say ebi no omo dey Zimbabwe ya omo twa 100 trillion dollar note Zimbabwe dollar note top anu abodo baako before star baako it is that sanctions dey ade bia na too severe because say no untimi obi anya duma ana untimi ensell weapons Iran oye weapons and ono so untimi enton weapons eti Iran say okay some the sanctions na to so dey mekoso my enrichment na enrichment na Iran ogusu a na oye ni nyina na yade bia ni mission ni na say obebode sa nukes no matter what happens afa Israel for no say hu say enrichment na omoye no very dangerous because enkofo no gusu body nukes no and stop Iran no mo feel so omoye na Iran eja na Iran so ki obekoso na waye ho na Israel for no wom ko hu Obama anom no Obama ko kasa no mo ka chu Obama say chale enkofo no selam gusu body nukes no ntie be ne den yempe kwan bi ne no mu nhia na ye negotiate said the be ya ebetimi aboa at that time no though na China e powerful but law no na affect China because through transactions World Bank internationally obe payment the amount obe to be free Iran and now obe to be free China obe to SWIFT now their transaction say UN blockade had the US blockade had there now transaction bi anu a ode be aduma ebe that time no ban na Iran nso wo mu nyanya powerful sa etinum na BRICS no so any strong at say me ya and ekwa strong but essay first because timi edidwa e wo kwan bi so but still no omu nyina use SWIFT the transactions SWIFT transaction na ebetimi ama wa send dollars the ama obi wo ni chrome no wa yi in dollars or in their country's currency. That is another point. Entinu eba asanum na ama Iran omo trouble kakra na Israel for nso omusu na US nso omusu because Iran ebe nukes a power ombenya e wo Middle East no enya de a ombetimi aden a control Iran bi said omkokun Saddam Hussein. Until later kra no na enkro ni bi ekohia USA na China na Russia na friends USA, China, Russia, France na Germany na womu nyina omo yede omukohia na sorry UK so ka ho omu nyina kohia say ye hu say still an oye enrichment na ye pese ye yi sanctions no the fruit so said be ya ubejai enrichment na wo ye no Iran so make so no so ohia because e ba sa na akepo allied nations no they say China and Russia omo ntimi ni didi ma bia bi e ho no no na Iran say what ase because China and ne kasa Russia and Ayatollah e kasa on na supreme leader ono am kasa no na Ayatollah say okay what ase based on conditions in saying enrichment a why edu 90% aka kra no wadu 100% na say wa launch looks no omo ka che ne say NS ade a won reduce enrichment no now enrichment no on fanya dey on fanya different thing omo ya say ontwam kra na o se da bi ontwam edi entia that time no emra Israel for kogbo amane Barack Obama no na Obama e wo vision bi say obetimi abombo facility no ti o vision bi say obetimi abombo facility no na sa vision na wo no na Iran for so smart adentia Iran for war Israel US for B2 bomber na sa B2 bomber no mfa no spread ne ho odem pa e mo due na omo launch a e babu wura asase na se cut down na akoso explosion assassin ase say akoso sa explosion na ade bi e wo bia no e be say nenso no e won a limit because it mi ko asase ase be say 300 feet and how are US Israel attack Osirak nuclear reactor Saddam Hussein di adam eno ma Ayatollah esesa na dwen se obeye at the same time onya de no emfe nko asase ani obeye ade no asase ase enti ukọ Iran a omkronkro no ombude no miensa ebi kura se 9 baako Fodo ewo asase ase ana baako Natanz eno so ewo asase ase ana baako Isfahan eno so ewo asase ase etinum emra Barack Obama se nko be bombe wi a na nko sane sanctions ato omo so bi no onyi kura no omo hwe ba bi ade ne hye ene hawa omo asan gusu concrete any ade na esan so bro 300 feet na say there was no way omo B2 bomber na na the whole world omo no omo wo no ebetimi abubu sa ade no etin na osomo nyina ba negotiation table na omo tie ase na omo yi sanctions ni free omo so na ebiem no omo sign agreement na sa agreement no omo frɛ no agreement no ye joint comprehensive plan of action na say nya ne akabom ene say we bibi say ya or say ye take action e de den etiaw we different from United Nations power we different from United Nations power. It is our joint comprehensive plan of action ye fa no JCPOA. Yes, JCPOA ena omu nyina assign say okay ye be sanctions no e de afu so na emumu US ebe sign, China ebe sign, Russia ebe sign Iran obe sign bi Germany wono so be sign bi UK ono so be den obe sign bi on asem na asem okay omo se omate ase e na obi a sign na omo sign kire se se sanction ni di fi Iran so na se Iran why don't you say obey nukes ne dia e say wo China is not about veto when you veto e say wo China ujai say only Iran end the mabie because we breach contract or agreement mu nyina mo form ye e say Russia also sign when you veto power say also only Iran end the biem na say because Iran breach contract was only agreement almost sign it the China no be sign this is outside NATO, we ain't for NATO, we a joint comprehensive plan of action. Woman yina ate ase a woman sign. Afi ebuama Iran start say or turn oil no internationally. Ye yi sanctions ni dey finish because that time na sanctions ni buy no. Na Iran ontimi turn oil enko ba bia. Ana omo ending so ontimi so enyusu Swift World Bank transactions. Omo sika omo won so kai omo block ni omo freeze omo sika wo international we ni nyina no na Iran sika omo freeze ni nyina ti omo bie mu e ma Iran e na Iran ne nsae den e kan sika na ohia e na Iran start say or more arms e de agukuro ni mu or more weapons e de agukuro ni because yes de o waka no osuro sonsono e na de omo de ye friend say Saddam Hussein no so osua bibi e de afimu eti no oye say any sade a ontimi nye we dia obeto more weapons na weapons ni bia na odin pa enatie any say on reduce ni enrichment no instead of 90% no also what about 3.7% and 3.3% and only for research base as in say unya that kind of energy na 3.something% now but me there a research for medicines any other benefit energy any other ote so and a centrifuge of 20,000 plus no all man reduce and one the bar 5,000 or below 5,000 adentia ni nyane say Iran say sanctions are done so na e week no we say sanctions no e dey finish so and or accept here et Iran enya sika 10 e dey siesie o man no dey to ton weapons essence ton weapons e ma biemu no okonanim pa enti Donald Trump e ba ye no and also o mo fa ne mre no and the fan ba na obi mu 1 2 3 no hwem no Israel for na the information na ma no me catch your plane say Mossad no mu control US government enti omode information no fast da ho ma Donald Trump no and Trump e ka say tie Trump so on US there Israel mu ndi agro or Trump no ba ya obeka say Israel Palestine and Jerusalem Israel for capital we declare the account one if you are seeing like say wrong say odi Jerusalem ebema Israel because enka omo ho internet say ope Israel for sempa enti ema Trump ba ya no a o hwe mu na no ohunu say enfunso bebre ewo wo mu adentia ye mission nyina ne say onye nukes no mfe nkoboa onfe nkoma Hezbollah any Houthis but uhwe mu a sika Iran enya na supreme leader no woman nya okronum no say sika no in fact enya sika ketwa oma san so e finance Houthis any real terrorists are wo Middle East tie eti Iran ehunu say US ehunu say ene sa agreement no mo sign no enkwase agreement because onipa no ye sanction no wanya sika no odema oma rebel groups na wo Middle East no or the mom or tow weapons at the mom tie rebel groups are Middle East because of USA influence and Israel how attack and ema rebel groups no sorry ebi on mo kwa na US na the create rebel group so now no I don't want to go there. I want to focus on Iran more intention of building nukes and then USA and Israel so our intention of stopping them from building the nukes. And meanwhile, USA controls the World Bank, the IMF, and then Swift transactions. So when US places sanctions on you, it is going to affect your economy drastically, totally. Sometimes it will cripple the nation. It is a sanctions, e dey free Iran so na Donald Trump say no e nkwase asem we just sika na yen end no na sa joint comprehensive plan of action no Donald Trump ofiri mu tie Donald Trump efiri mu no na USA Iran ka tro say ofiri mu no no start say or the sanctions to almost back bi mu ono ye US ne sanctions na or the to almost back na Iran supreme leader Ayatollah o ka tell Russia, China, Germany, France, UK mu nyina say woman ne Iran US enkasa because agreement ni na say na one build nukes so far on build nukes bia it is also three mu na what the sanction bia to no so it means say a breach of contract because ye na ye share na ye tiase say twana manye nukes am pass me nye nukes bia wan kan ye twana man finance so wo say me ye nukes e ba kodi nkofo we say nsem entima me nye ma tiase ma ja bibia sometimes when you are getting those in the Middle East when you are calling them terrorists you should understand say most of them no it is not their fault because of the kind of pressure Israel and US omo to Senkofo we say so no eno na ya na e cause say nema we say nyina so one share the root cause of something you might end up judging people wrongly enti e ba sa no na enkofo we say omni US kasa Donald Trump just tell anom on free mu on join into ordinary sanctions e ba aduma na o dey cripple Iran ho na Iran say NSA dia obekọ so aye enrichment na obekọ so enrichment no de bia no de bi ka ho they be not become na oma IAEA for no ebem but enye ba bia na omo ye den ekọ because say no contract no ma breach agreement no nti de ono pe ana obeye na Russia to say US afrimu de a o mama ade na agreement na e basa NS ade a on the China on Iran be aduma because ya nkaso betumi the only time betumi jeopardize agreement no is when Iran disobeys or go against the initial agreement or initial contract that those countries signed. What you say? You know, China say only Iran be the duma, and now Russia say only Iran be also the duma because omu say Iran aye bibia. E hono monom, and na fe no omu gusu everybody. Edu ba bi num, and na eye Israel for ekohu say no. Still anu nkofo no gusu everybody nukes no. Na say Israel for no omu pese Iran for no be de ebekoso enkofo no guso omo building nukes no also omo san take action and omo ni Israel US coding komo plan thing omo fire na US Israel for epekwan bi so a ombeye Israel Iran say Gaza adentia wo mo believe say the kind of weapons are Iran edema terrorists a omo wo me the east one sa weapons no entimi enwura Israel kronim etinu so omde ntokwa for Israel for Iran for na say Iran for ebama ombetimi asay Iran kora because omunim weapons no omo strength but no omunim so opani oni hwekwa no or abache obajaw Iran almost 7,000 years old when you see Israel form no just 1948 year eti hono monom ana Iran started say enrichment eti edu ba bi no na afenu Iran Netanyahu say obe fight the atia say nkofu na yenum de ye yo hwa na say Iran Israel akọ the drones akọ attack omo scientists omo wo hwa omo build nukes no omo akọ attack scientists no aye dey ekuo mu nyina with drones. It was a propaganda. It wasn't that they killed those scientists with drones, but to be honest with you, they were killed, they were assassinated. One ku assassinate woman, current say war. And one ku nipo more building nyina, baby obi ade da bia no, one ku nyina. Tokwa Mossad no intelligence do mu wura Iran ho, de monitor ya ku ndrom ku no. Send a bear, young Castle assassinate woman into some say a attack no the cool scientists. No, Bra, Omuku Muyerum, and on Barbon to say, Oma Bombay scientists no Omo dine Omo Kumuna. It was a propaganda. What they are saying, young fan say, Okum, Omokum. A hot Enna a year Engofui Iran, another say, Ade away, you know, against international laws because why be Saddam Hussein and I'm going to talk for Namukuno. This time around, you bet I was a young Iran and so you're powerful. Now you're young Kora and what by a crew, I'll be queen scientist. Now, what be say near ma and Iran, yes, and yes, how they are. Or be reply a year Israel, a ho and in the course of 12 days war. And Iran started a war to a year accordia, and they are called missiles, drones near the other. Now, some missiles no. Eya na Iron Dome no na waje na Israel for no fele se o ma wie. Eya na Iron Dome na waje na Israel for no fele se o ma wie. Ho no mun say they were overwhelming the Iron Dome. Eti wo totutudu ba bi no na fa Iron Dome no ye say enso tie aponchana waje wo what they are saying na aponchana nso owu a ana ye bete ne tenten. So what they are say aponchana ya so be ma na ya na tie asosen oba. Ana ekoba say Iran etoto ye na du baabi no na Israel no so to bi de ba ogome na ma bobi ogome na ma bobi na de tie ne say obi a owo ono Iran no owo enkofo osose on e de say ukunuku a ebi be de ebeka e de afa Iran etope na akowura eye Iraq Israel kronim and in fact Tel Aviv there for the first time ever since Israel be Israel 1948 no Oma bia na watimi penetrate Israel esin the Iran for yeda. Afi na akoba say the idea say Israel onyankopon na atusu wom na omho oden. Oma bia ntimi ni Israel enko no. Ye hu ni say say Israel so ne to ewo kwan. What you say Israel ne to ewo kwan. Ene ye be fa ba bia ekwan ye dem eda no. Ina fa ma Israel obi a mo se mo wa ho oden na mo se magia maben ena nyame na bom ho ban mukunto kwa mbewi ni ade nyina na Iran etimi attack ma mo ye in fact attacks in there I don't want to go there munyina mu huye afi Iran Israel na de say also mo the USA ebam na nka e create ntokwa na ntokwa na be create no USA don betimi destroy Iran ho ena Donald Trump eba na obe stay or condemn or negotiation ni ade negotiation ni ade omo ma ai ni yesi ye be prasu wie no ena Israel Donald Trump ye hu ya ne say Donald Trump ascend the B2 bomber na Obama hu say B2 bomber no e wo limit enye baabia na betimi areche it say be use B2 bomber no ye use negotiation no ni Iran for no and deal peacefully what I say also be use B2 bomber because na ade a na Netanyahu or pressure US Trump pass omrem ni nyane say two things say be course and talk between US said the Israel omudi kan ye no and e bia sida e wi ase condemn this time around focus on Iran kokun tokwa only China and Russia nyina na ebeko because e be proxy war untimi nyini ne simple sa e hono no and adako Iran for ho na mo say amasuma B2 bomber no we plane na e betimi abesimi dem a et say e bat sade we atofom onte e ba et say anoma otu a uhu na tabu no o say bom pakapaka no aba ukrom oba obetimi kura ayire du ba bia be pia be siwo da no wa uhu ba bia okon fa so ye de ba and say plane na e may rather than making noise ye de a obet no eye B2 bomber ne de until I'm friend the spread we sunsun e na Donald Trump de na o believe o gidi say B2 bomber no e betimi ayaduma e na omo ko use B2 bomber no ana mo de ko bombo site na Iran eye omo nukes no e ho ana wiase nyina chese US say no de moye no abro so do mama Israel akwa muso mba baby munya de moye no Russia be condemn ye China be condemn ye na other countries North Korea countries be condemn us ade Israel US ayenom enye afeina ewiase na say the B2 bomber ya mo kan wasem no enye de e wa hode sa because Went near rich site, though a cost damage, but engineer destroyed the entire facility. And when Iran 4 years, very structure, so the bay start nukes. Therefore, international atomic energy agency IAEA, be inspected. Also this time around, one international bodies need inspect facilities need be be your moye. Sad way in fact, Israel for ne yapa. I feel later Donald Trump now be accepted say oment me and saying na say duma no mkoye no I said the what to bo e dey abo so ataso sa ade we na ayim pese obe embarrass B2 bomber no enti na o ma B2 bomber na gira o say o de nu nyehu say the be ya o mo nko try na ko say bibia this time around no o mo say B2 bomber no e won limiter say o mo ye na etimi ese no kodu 300 miles a obetimi yakọ 400 miles entimi nkonkodu nje wi ase nyina North Korea mu nyina say wọ́n pèsè ọmọ yẹ nukes a ọmọ dọ́kọ̀ akọ̀ṣẹ́ asase ase sẹ́dẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ yà obi àmẹ́mẹ́ how much bi yẹ bi wei yà de bi a disgrace B2 bomber no na wei na ẹ̀yẹ Iran sẹ́ ọmọ yẹ enrichment ana ọmọ make domestic laws ní òkú mu nàn sẹ́ yẹ mpere ẹ̀ ma ọmọ bi ma mẹ́ yẹ ọmọ hwẹ́ yẹ nukes a yẹ so nti ẹ̀bẹ́yẹ bi bia sẹ́dẹ̀ yẹ fẹ́lẹ́ sẹ́ ẹ̀bẹ́boa ẹ̀yẹ Iran ọ̀ sẹ́ Iran no matter the situation the circumstances no matter the oppressions no matter whatever no matter the backlashes, whatever happens, they still have to put the nuclear weapons to be able to protect themselves against this Western pressure, this imperialist nations, this Israel and other countries are all the time they find ways and means to destroy Arab nations. A hormone and Israel for Donald Trump, tie or no free mu and sana walk on one samba. Wo free mu on same quadrant him. And almost pressure this time around. Almost pressure Russia. Say Russia agreement it is still effective. Also, omo buy into an agreement. Now, omo make sure sanctions now. Omo do two omo sono. Also Russia ede adwuma. Also China ede adwuma because Iran say omo mama mehwe omo nukes no. Tie Iran say omo mehwe omo nukes no. And na dey tell say US and create GPS. And now omo dey monitor enema ekoso ewo Iran GPS no. Omuti satellite ni omuti monitor ade bia o man eye na saade we na omuti monitor ya de hwe ba bia Iran omadu omudu omunus no mo ye be yes the case Iran hu say obi hwe omoniem omoye ewo wiem na de nipa ne hwe owiem no omuhia obi obetimi aboa no omayi sa satellite na da Iran so na omudi monitor hono mo na Iran ene China ekoka sai na China be yi saade ni fisu do so far no ade biara Iran ebe bia no Russia, US, and Israel, omunya access to those things. Omunya monitor unless use spies, any intelligence, any agent. Omunya monitor Iran. I'm telling you, say Iran politics. It will be a they will be a hokakra. Will be also my own yet. Will be a hope or sell mine or for Japade or foul nooks near the other or Kuntokwa, Eddie say will be up or say a Yame for Christopher Mentoka, and the admin one a long process. Nti ono na US pushi so ono de wa firim ana o pushi EU for na Russia and China say ono de obekoso ne Iran ayaduma because agreement no omo nyina for failure agreement na US free so all the on join na all the sanctions ne buy so all the sanctions na ba na o use EU ne dia yen de ye bekoso aye ye ne on be aduma hono no na EU for e de buy say sanction or say yaduma nanse because Iran started enrichment or no empese obema international body no abe inspect it hono and Iran said they be one penny and the pressure na air ban EU for no France UK and na Germany mu na epeso mo say say US free mu dia E3 no omo de omo free mu still no omo ye member omo ka ho bi one year part of the agreement. In the say agreement in Ayaduma. And now Russia say, and so I say debate one way car argument. Russia and China have different stance. And EU for different stance. I say US now film now or push you or they bent to a room tona for all pumpy or to normal for the press also for about only option. It's not a say no Putin said almost 6 months. Nanka 6 months no. Woman fam planning you no mun ko share no mun ko check it o mun ko inspect side to no the press na e ba no ano the impact. A day until na Putin after 6 months. Within the next October, a year Putin eba Russia eba president of UN Security Council, on eba United Nations. Within the next October, on eba president of United Nations. And no the idea of maybe Africa crown or my country LED no. On Africa, you selected 2 countries. Normal co-represented 2 events and the entire Africa. If you are Ghana, you co-represented that. Sierra Leone to be represented. Nigeria will be to be co-represented. Now, some countries now, only 15 members are. Joining a UN Security Council. No, woman and I, you do say every month be an rotating a year position. No, rotating. Until I think say August, or Panama are starting to be corrected. And friend is saying next month of September, Munzo, Ebiabeko Korea, says South Korea, and if you are about Russia. Now, the attorney say Russia believe say so no be a president now. That month now, no be president, I now control and command bidi. Issue open at the battle board so. Open to me can say Yankasa and Fabium. Iran the upper crown can once them. And our best president, so I won't miss question because the upper and the battle board. And now almost episode pushy Saddam outside the meeting because we international way and agree without the United Nations. Without the United Nations approve by one man no mujina number here sa ene mani nyina. We say no be a very dangerous at the man Russia and China because pressure at almost. And now so far no excuse now Russia and China so use no very important because omo nye bibia USA and now my there my sa adem 18 pressure na ba do baby no US Russia still na China edi juma 18 na also work fast normal international bodies no eba number inspect facilities omo dey looks no we say na enkofo say da bi da omo mpre first say IAEA for no ekodu Iran no na akasakasa eba o adentia Ayatollah na supreme leader and almost share a domestic law kire say enya de a yebema Iran ye nukes na anase nuclear facility na ye ma international bodies ni ma ho inspect de ye na ye be ya de obi am hobby because omba mu na later ombe bomb ye enti sa de no emra bodies no international bodies no kodu ai for kodu ope na almost stage it was a planting almost stage ye friend is saying protest say leaders no lawmakers no mo Iran say omo mpene da say ombe sa de no the protest na too intense at the ma body no omo international bodies no it the omo ko ba ne say instead of the omo ko photo name na Tanzania is Isfahan no omo ba ko bi omo fe no bushe sa bushe he no pe ana ba bia omo de omo ko na omo ka cho omo say so far protest aba e was omo calm kru no down ansa no omo kwan no ma ba be ye na me buza we say ebeba ne sen na Iran some be nukes no ombejaye. No matter what happens, Iran obey nukes no. Opa sanction said then because say no Iran so ne China ne Russia edigapa. Ama Iran oma prepare oma nyeskapa. Iran oma dijanyeska 18 this time around sanctions said that Iran so ni nyina Russia ni di dwa oye okay because Brexit so enyi ba enkaka. Say no ye hwe ekwan a Israel with the help of USA or both two forces their alliance how it is going to prevent Iran from making nukes. And I'm telling you say opamu ohufo a oto ne bema example obi a otai no na otai na do baabi na nipa no wa bre enso sela gusu tai no otimi gina ese yen de besinsi yen kontokwa na wan hwe ya odi huni abufuo be bowa praw ebi na ato Iran so far Iran say one breach contract na agreement no Russia say Iran breach China say Iran breach and na France and na UK and na Germany say so one breach adent na the OAS anu omo nye den omo ma ne kwan no amehwe ano no so person say sanctions na mo de ato me so no enu ntina me nso me ye de me ma mo kwan na mo ma mehwe na the ten say sanctions no agreement na say oye bie ma o se ma EU ni China mu nyina be count so far EU ni hia China no support some sanction Iran. Almost free and no snap back mechanism. As when tie and your sanctions na de about. Now snap back mechanism there. Any UN power. Name Russia, China, France, Germany, UK, and those countries. No, one more now snap back mechanism about. And say Russia TSS not China TSS there. That's Iran. Onya obia na nem kodi duma. It is the idea say Ayatollah Ama IAEA for no aba International Atomic Energy Agency no aba on there. No kwa na so nya ba bia no me de omokoe. And at the same time so no the oil no oni Russia edi nkomo oni China edi nkomo no mu nyino ma dem omati ase. They want some few months bia between dia finish because this time around Oma sounds so improve measures near there. I know you're powerful crashing the medical attack Israel first time. No, and many anti say measures said it me quit, you know, some force of no more so said the me quit Israel for now. And now this time, no, there are two Israel into no, so quiet no or quiet to say Saddam Hussein. There are two Israel into Israel for Nabu. One more tries to see a year attacks a bomb so and the kind of weapons are Iran for 1 year. Oman cast 1 year. And the weapons are almost imported abano. And your weapons get to and your weapons get to it is a okay Israel no sanko try Israel so and come on you be and as I say na dey be on baby anum USA Russia and China almost so USA be India and so USA no hema countries are one do so power we ase pa no mo so no one nyina ensuro US and sanctions be eti so far Russia, China, Iran and India, North Korea sa countries we won bet me live e wiase a won be forget EU enti na make sure say no matter what no Russia on care about the sanctions ade be to no so because say also the sanctions to no so also here be free no enti na Russia and China ye dwuma omu nyina we the way kona we the way ba enti na Russia and North Korea di dwuma enti na North Korea ma Russia weapons unu America cho North Korea ma Russia weapons Russia and North Korea di dwuma Russia and Iran di dwuma it is them go for the cabo munasa what tries over temtoma one way year your country will be jeopardized and I'm telling you per what the experience that Israel had when they attacked Iran I don't think that Israel will expect or would like to experience the same threat or the same experience, which might be even worse than what they encountered. So nowadays, Israel, and we should see, say, the moment Iran be making nukes, there will be peace in the Middle East. There will be so much peace in the Middle East, whereby Israel will never bully any country anyhow. Because I have to say, the idea of jeopardizing Middle East, making it look like a place of terror or hell, no, too bad. We are seeing condemn. But Israel, or support a world superpower, that is USA. It whatever any evil actions done by Israel, it is seen as good, and with the backing, with the support of Christian nations. Who doesn't even know, say, the Israel don't even believe in the birth and death of Jesus Christ, and they are still waiting for the Messiah to come. And Israel was from just 1948. Where we can't just go back and talk about those issues because these are the main reason. And the amount for man of say Iran or a coward, and yes, or a coward. Now, what said that? Or no man to come for near protest. Or no man, IAEA for the buyer said they should just go and inspect Bushehe instead of Fodo, Natanz, and Isfahan. We should look at how our global politics or geopolitics here, and then when you are giving the analysis, you shouldn't just go to the what happened today. Trace it back to history, how it started. How Israel for any US anyhow Middle East. Now the entire supreme leader say haram said obey no. Nowadays no. When you change of mind, change of decisions and norm. I think say if I try say I'm not going to build nukes, then I'm going to destroy my country by the enemies. The enemies will one day come and attack this country, and when they do, there will be no weapons to, counter them or to defend ourselves. Sometimes you have to prepare. As a leader, you shouldn't always prepare for defensive measures. You should prepare for offensive and defensive. Because what is our time or time for be attack or be attack now before now be defend, one now be bring more. Because no never come be attack. Therefore, some so prepare so be attack or ukuma. A crime na be fast be attack or no come. That should be your main aim. And then they are there. Iran say or prepare no defend it, no assign offensive. I say mo bobo na obi dia o ya na say onya ball now we defend keke. Na obi so ebo defense na obo offensive. The whole defending no enye easy so obehye so ubetumi ahye simple. And now we defend the bad then say obehye go because onya ball na o defend o pass na wa ba be gina ho na wa be san line na o big 5 we 4 no we no omo defend. And na Iran emphasize so use two form of wars, offensive and defensive. And at the same time, also, the international allies also making sure that omo ebe kama said ebe China and Russia must be betray a year agreement. Name US pay and a web betray. The other asraba also do me. Let me know your opinion. It is about global politics and adibia mekanya man can you know. Now what they are telling me. Now I stand to be corrected. Maybe I'm sure they are so few months more. Apart from say me sure they are no me sound sure they are a few months more. When need the video no follow more YouTube, follow more TikTok, baby the best also Asia. Media the asrama also do me. The best also Asia. I salute you all, bra.